Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-diving into a diagnostic trouble code that might sound a bit intimidating but is usually quite manageable. First off, let's understand the code itself. C2206 is a chassis code indicated by the C, which means it's related to systems like your anti-lock brakes, traction control, or stability control. The battery voltage low part is pretty self-explanatory. The module that set the code detected that the electrical system's voltage dropped below a certain threshold. Now, the RAM configuration specific part is where it gets interesting. RAM, or random access memory, is used by your vehicle's control modules to store temporary data, including configuration settings. This part of the code tells us that the low voltage issue is specifically affecting the memory that holds the configuration for a particular module, most often the anti-lock brake system, or ABS module. So, what's happening inside your car? Imagine your car's brain, the ABS module, needs a steady supply of power to remember how it's supposed to operate things like your vehicle's specific tire size, gear ratios, and other critical data. If the battery voltage dips too low, even for a moment, the module can get a little bit of amnesia. It can't hold on to its settings correctly, so it flags the C2206 code to let you know something's wrong with its power supply. This is a failsafe to prevent the ABS or stability control from acting on corrupted data, which could be dangerous. What are the common symptoms you might notice? The most obvious sign will be the illumination of your ABS, traction control, or stability control warning lights on the dashboard. You might see all three light up at once. In some cases, you might also notice that your anti-lock brakes or traction control systems are disabled as a safety precaution. You'll still have your regular brakes, but the advanced safety features won't be active until the issue is resolved. You might also experience other electrical gremlins, like dimming lights or difficulty starting the car, which point directly to a weak battery or charging system. Now for the important part. What causes this code? The number one culprit, via long sought, is a weak or failing battery. A battery that's old, has a dead cell, or just can't hold a proper charge anymore is the most common reason for voltage to drop. Another frequent cause is a problem with the charging system, specifically a failing alternator that isn't recharging the battery as you drive. It could also be something as simple as loose or corroded battery terminals or ground connections. A poor connection creates high resistance, which leads to a voltage drop under load. Less commonly, you could be looking at a wiring issue between the battery and the ABS module, or in very rare cases, a faulty ABS module itself. So, how do we diagnose and fix it? Always start with the basics. Don't immediately assume you need a new expensive module. Grab a multimeter and check your battery voltage. A healthy, fully charged battery should read around 12.6 volts with the engine off. Then, start the engine. The voltage should jump up to between 13.7 and 14.7 volts. If it's lower, your alternator is likely the problem. If the resting voltage is below 12.4 volts, your battery is probably on its way out. While you're under the hood, physically inspect the battery terminals and main ground connections. Are they clean and tight? Any corrosion needs to be cleaned off thoroughly with a wire brush. If the battery and alternator check out fine, you can then move on to checking for voltage drops in the wiring to the ABS module. This is a bit more advanced and might require a wiring diagram for your specific vehicle. UD check for voltage at the module's power and ground pins to ensure it is receiving the same voltage as the battery. Once you've identified and fixed the root cause, whether it's replacing the battery, fixing the alternator, or cleaning the terminals, the final step is to clear the C2206 code using your scan tool. After clearing the code, you may need to perform a specific recalibration or initialization procedure for the ABS module. This procedure varies by manufacturer, so you'll want to consult your vehicle's service manual. Sometimes, just driving the vehicle for a few miles will allow the module to relearn its settings automatically. And that's a wrap on trouble code C2206. It seems complex, but it usually points to a simple power supply issue. Start with the battery, check the charging system, and inspect your connections. Thanks for watching, and if you found this guide helpful, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more automotive tips, and I'll see you in the next video.